Hello YouTube, sitting here once again. I know it's been a while since I've done a video, and I do apologize for that. Been pretty much tired working and just I haven't really been in much of a mood to actually do any videos, so that's pretty much why I haven't been posting, and that sort of thing. But I just wanted to come in to, to do a quick video to you all and just to kind of, talk about something that was actually on my heart. And it's pretty much the concept of what I would like to call lifelong learning. I wasn't really I really didn't know much about that subject really until I was enrolled in college and basically going for my bachelor's in business. That concept was actually, something that was introduced to me, at that time in my schooling, and I really didn't understand what that really meant. And basically, from what from what the teacher gave, or I would say how she explained it, and from how I interpret it, it's pretty much, I would say that it's a concept where we have to kind of be prepared to accept that, we don't know everything. And even as adults, we're still constantly in the learning seat, if you will. And basically, I kind of grabbed a hold of that concept, and it kind of followed me for the most part all throughout my enrollment in my bachelor's degree, and even well into my master's degree, when I completed that and went on to get my MBA or whatever the case. But that concept always stuck with me because, again, even though I've been doing it all this time, I never really understood or really could put a name to it. And when I would actually, encounter people, encounter situations, encounter circumstances, and I would learn how to deal with it, I never knew then, but I was actually applying the concept of lifelong learning then, because I was learning how to deal and how to solve problems, how to analyze things, pretty much how to problem solve, how to think up new ways on how to get something done. And basically, again, I guess you would say I was kind of reintroduced to that concept again today at work, where we actually had a meeting that was being held. And basically, the meeting was, in my opinion, really not needed. Basically, it was over some concepts and things that pretty much we all should know as far as the working environment. But nonetheless, my supervisor felt that we needed to have a refreshed, to be refreshed, or to actually relearn some basic concepts as far as customer service. And basically, all of that came as a result of a conversation that was had during, that came from a phone call that was made last week regarding one of my coworkers who was actually on the phone with someone where this other person actually felt that she was rude and everything of that nature. So because of that, we all had to actually sit through about an hour-long training of phone etiquette. I kid you not, we all had to sit there and listen to her ramble on and on about the importance of, putting on that smile and all of this other stuff while you're on the phone. I mean, come on now. And I was in customer service ever since I left the military. And basically I, worked in call centers and everything else. And all of that, again, involved customer service. So if I didn't know how to do customer service or how to, operate in it, I'm at this point, at least in my career, then there's no help for me. But as a result of that meeting, basically the lady or my coworker got offended, and basically ran out of the board of the classroom or what have you, or the conference room, because she got offended with how my supervisor was actually bringing or talking about the material, because the way that my supervisor was actually explaining the material, she pretty much knew that she was taking personal jabs at her, because she knows that, that she was the one that, of course, that had got into the altercation with the customer over the phone the week before or the last week or what have you. And I told her, I said, well, after she ran out of the conference room, I went behind her, to try to calm her down, because she was literally in tears. And I had to explain to her, look, one of the main things that you have to understand is that, even though these things happen, there's just some things that you're just going to have to bear, and one of the main things is that you're going to have to learn how to, again, deal with people. Now, again, I guess I should give you the backstory. My coworker and my supervisor, they really don't get along well. And basically, it's pretty much known that they don't really pretty much get along well. They pretty much tolerate each other. I'll put it to you that way. And basically, it makes it uncomfortable for me because, again, I have to work in the same environment as these two people, and basically, one person is constantly looking at the other, waiting for one of them to mess up on something so they can pretty much gloat, and take joy in correcting and all this other type of stuff. And basically, because of that, the other one, my coworker, actually resents her for it, basically. And I told her, I said, well, one of the main things that we have to understand is that, for one, we don't get to choose. I guess I put it to her this way, that we don't get to choose, for the most part, in certain circumstances, the people that we work with. When you come to work, when you apply for a job, when you get accepted and you accept the position, you are stuck with the people who are already there. And you just have to learn how to deal with them, as best as you can. And basically, because, again, of that concept that you have to deal with people as they are, you are actually learning a lot. Not only are you learning a lot about them, you're learning a lot about yourself as well, and how you deal with them and their issues. And see, with my coworker, she really, it's gotten to the point where, I guess her whole day can be ruined just by the very sight of actually my supervisor coming into the building. Now, I will say this, my supervisor is not innocent in anything at all. She is very sneaky. I saw that myself, because she tried to throw me under the bus a couple of times, and basically I had to call her out on it to let her know that I didn't appreciate what she did. And I know what she did, but that's beside the point. But it's just getting to the fact that, she could be laughing, my coworker, and I can be laughing and chatting it up in a conversation. And in the moment my supervisor enters the room, her whole expression changes. And I told her, I say, well, there's something you got to realize. When you're in a good mood, and when a person walks in and they're able to change your entire disposition, they got power over you. I actually told her that. I don't think that she actually received that quite well, because she got very quiet. And she started looking at me in a certain way, like she'd never looked at me before, And basically, I began to minister to her, and give her the word of God and everything of that nature. And basically, I could tell that she was not very receptive to what I was saying. But again, I felt that I still needed to give her, just to minister to her, to let her know that, we are constantly on this road called learning. And basically, a lot of our lessons come through a lot of hardships, a lot of issues that we have to deal with. And again, some of those issues are with people, and basically, she was, saying, yeah, I understand and agree and everything. But my main thing is that anytime I'm actually ministering to someone, I really want them to understand, that I care and that I really understand what they're going through, because I've been there. I might be even in that situation now. So I can relate and really understand everything that they're saying. But I realize also, that I can only go so far as my ministering to someone, because basically, if they're not receiving or they're not receptive, basically, in a sense, it's just wasted words as far as I'm concerned. The Bible tells us, sometimes we have to pack up our peace and just walk away, take our peace with us and go. And that was one of those situations where I felt that, my words, even though they were plentiful and basically right on point, you know, they weren't really being receptive at that particular point, which is fine because basically she was very in her feelings, very emotional, you know, and just very hurt that the supervisor would actually, you know, come at her in the way that she did when we was going through the training, the customer service training. You know, she was very upset and everything, and I pretty much had to learn that this was the point for me to back away and, you know, just allow her to be in her feelings, because again, that's okay. We're human. We are allowed to feel, you know, a certain kind of way if that's indeed the case. So it got to the point where I was like, you know, it's a nice day outside. Why don't you just get up, you know, and just go outside for some fresh air, you know, just maybe, you know, just kind of, you know, because right now, you know, it's a bit stuffy in here, and basically, you know, the longer you sit here, the more you're going to keep dwelling on the situation. So, you know, she got up and she left, you know, and went with the other coworker. They went outside and everything and talked and everything and came back. And she was, I guess, in a better headspace, or at least a little bit better than what she was before. And, you know, I began to talk to her some more. And, you know, I told her, I was like, sometimes, you know, you just have to just let people be who they are. You know, one of the main things that we can't control is how other people act. But what you can control is your reaction to them. You know, and again, that seemed like a simple concept, but sometimes it takes a lifetime to learn. And again, that was one of the things that I actually had to learn, and still learning, you know, again, is that even though we have our version of how we would want somebody to be and act, you have to accept them as they are. Imperfections and all, just like people have to accept me for my imperfections and all, is vice versa, you know. So basically, I was just letting her know, you know, don't let this destroy you. Let this be an opportunity for you to learn, you know, on how to deal and how to become a better person because of this situation. Because again, the more that you dwell on this, the angrier you're going to get. And basically, again, you know, you may end up doing or saying something that may cost you your job. You know what I mean? But, you know, my whole point of this video is the fact that even though we think that we got something in control and know how to do something, there's always something that would turn around and make us rethink that. You know, lifelong learning is one of those concepts that, you know, we're gonna always be that student of life. I guess you'll put it. I guess I can say it like that, where you're gonna constantly be dealing with things, situations, people, circumstances, and stuff. And basically, depending on how you navigate it, you know, it can either be a blessing to you or it can be a curse, depending on what you take away from the situation. I'm learning now more than anything else that I'm trying to look at the educational parts of things, even though sometimes it can be hard, because there's always a lesson to be learned in a situation. Sometimes we learn from other people that, hey, you know what? I need to cut ties and move on. I'm not wishing you any ill feelings. Alexa, turn on the light.
Okay.
Sorry about that. But sometimes, you know, with life's lessons, sometimes, you know, the lessons that we learn sometimes means that we have to walk away. And that doesn't mean that we're wishing someone ill will, but we just know that in order for us to grow, we have to sometimes just cut the string and just move on with life. They go their separate way, you go yours, and you wish them all the best, you know. But it's just one of those things that, you know, we just have to understand and know that even as adults, we never still stop learning. And if anything, really, that's when we really start really also beginning to really learn more about life, is, you know, as adults. Because again, some of the things that we might have learned as a child is being reinforced. It's being reinforced again later in life. And basically, you know, we're having to kind of sit back and relearn something, but maybe from a different aspect or from a different way, you know. But again, I know, you know, it seems like I'm going on and rambling, but if you don't take anything else from this video, just know that, again, it's okay to be a student of life. Whether you like it or not, we're still going to be students of life, meaning that we're always going to be lifelong learners, okay? Peace out, folks, and I will talk with you in the next video.